able to wake up to fresh baked bread, and especially with what they're putting in bread these days. Have you ever bought a loaf of bread and 2 weeks later it still looks okay? Yeah, what's in that? It's not supposed to do that. This bread maker, 2 pounds. Look at all the things you're gonna be able to make in it though. Banana bread, all kinds of things. Sale price, $109.95, 5 flex payments, and again, with that free shipping and handling, extra savings on that. We have it in the black, the white, we have it in red, and we also have it in your turquoise as well. Chef, this pretty much does everything. All you have to do is just add the ingredients and push a button.
Now, Alice, you can choose whether you bake it straight away or you preset it and it bakes for you the second you wake up, okay? So it can be baking through the night and at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, ding, your bread is ready. This is how simple it is to use. You're gonna choose one of the 19 settings. I'm gonna choose number 1 right here. Then you choose the weight, right? Now, they're all pre-programmed and we give you 19 different types of bread that you'll be able to make, and all the ingredients and instructions are there. You choose the weight, you can choose 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, or 2 pounds. You can choose the color crust, so you can choose light, dark, or medium, and then you do this. You press start. Guess what? It starts working straight away. You start with your liquid, right? So I'm going to pour in some water, and of course we give you all of these measurements absolutely perfectly. Then you start with the flour. So you drop the flour on in. Now, of course, you won't press start until you've dumped all your ingredients in, but I wanted you to see it actually in process. You put your salt, you put your sugar, if that's what the recipe calls for, and we're sending you home with all 19 of those in your little booklet. The yeast goes on top. You'll see this baby start to work. Now, of course, you'll close the lid, but I'll keep it open for you. I'll even tilt it up for you just a little so you get to see it in action. It kneads, it rests, it proves, it bakes, it does everything. You don't have to think about it or worry about it. Alice, I'm coming over here. This is my country white. This one's just finished, so come over here with me. Now, 2 things to note. There is that hook that you see in there. That never comes out, right? That stays in. You don't have to worry about taking it out during that cooking process. You just have to worry about it at the end. So you go ahead, remove the bread. You'll see the hook sometimes will stay in the bread there. Now, that's why we give you this little hook that you can go on in and you can remove that very, very simply, right? Now, let's cut into it because you want that beautiful crust. We've chosen a medium here. Oh, it's still nice and hot, Alice. I tell you what, hot, fresh bread.
Look at that.
Isn't that amazing? So straight out of the oven. Oh, I can barely hold it, which is making me so excited because I'm going to get to taste it in just a second. See how I cut 2 slices, Alice? 1 for the camera, 1 for me. Wasn't that generous of me? By the way, I have my little Japanese butter knife here, and you can take butter straight out of the fridge when it's still nice and firm, and it will curl it for you, so it'll spread very easily. So that's another little thing you might want to pick up when you get in your bread maker this morning. But look at this. I mean, fresh, crusty, soft. Oh, Alice.
Wow.
Oh, my Lord.
You know, really, you had me just with the smell of the bread, okay? But did you see the texture of the bread? Do you see how beautifully, I mean, what would you spend in a bakery for a loaf of bread, a fresh baked bread? Look at what you're getting today. Let me give you an update, though. If you want, we have it in the turquoise, which is getting very limited, most limited in the red. In the red, I have the final 300, okay? So you definitely need to order that red if you're interested in it. I'm telling you, it couldn't be easier. Just add ingredients, push a button. It even tells you right here on it. I love that you made it so simple here, okay? So everything is easy. But again, red, final 300. We have more quantity in the white as well as the black. This is all about being able to control what we're eating, and then at the same time, getting your very best food experience, because Chef, there is nothing like, and you know, they're doing such artisanal breads now with the jalapenos and the prosciutto in it and everything else.
I mean, Alice, check this out. This one's got currants and walnuts. You'd pay $10 for this in a store, and I'm just gonna stack these up. The smell of this bread, oh my goodness, I've got a buddy named Gavin. He's an Aussie fella, and he rang me and he said, I want to see you, mate. I said, come around, we'll have toast and tea, buddy. We'll be very English. He came around, I baked him some bread. He walked in, he smelled it, he's like, oh, what's that? Then we sat down and we had a piece of toast, and he's like, you could solve wars with this bread, Stoney. And he's right. There's something about fresh baked bread that just is so delicious. Oh,
You know,
I'm sorry to do it to
they
you,
need
Al.
they need to make a candle, right? Because people would
Yeah.
love a candle that smelled like fresh baked bread because you want to smell it all the time. You're going to be able to wake up. You're going to be able to do it whenever you want to. You can program this. Look at how perfectly this cooks, though, and nothing to it. I mean, it's the reason,
You're so
Chef,
right. I mean,
it's the reason
look
we
at that
stopped,
cheese
that we
and
didn't
jalapeno.
bake bread because it took so long and you had to knead it and you had to rest it and you had to do this and it was never quite right. Now, perfection every time.
I mean, I don't know if you can see the steam coming off this
Oh, yes,
bread
we can.
on the camera, Alice, but you know, this cheesy bread here, this one's got jalapeno and cheddar. By the way, don't just think about this for yourself, Alice. This is the perfect gift for somebody. I mean, oh my goodness. What about that person? Don't you have a person in your life that you think they need a hobby? We all have that person. It's okay. This is the most beautiful hobby because they won't just be baking for themselves. They'll be baking for their church. They'll be baking for their neighbor because you get really into it. And I tell you what, look at me. Look how excited I get about it, Alice. What about gluten-free? Now, I know what you're saying. Gluten-free bread has traditionally been horrible. Let's just call it what it is. It's been dry. It's been just miserable to eat. And for all those poor people that have to eat gluten-free all the time, watch this. This is the most unbelievable. You first of all see the crust on gluten-free bread.
Right.
Now look how soft and fluffy and airy this bread is, Alice. Your knife glides through it. If you know anyone gluten-free, for goodness sake, get them this bread. It is just so wonderful. I'm going to sit it up here. I can't help myself. I need a little taste of it as well. I'm sorry, Alice. I know I should be showing you the breads instead of feeding myself, but it is early over here on the West Coast, and I think I need just a little...
You need some sustenance. Yes.
A little welcome to the weekend.
Right, yeah, and you know, especially with that gluten-free bread, usually with gluten-free bread, a lot of times it falls apart, okay? It just crumbles. Did you see the texture of that? It's so beautiful. Listen, if you want the red, we're down to about 250 of these now, okay? The turquoise also now getting very limited. We also have it in the black. We also have it in the white. Get something home that you and your family will love the experience of. We're spending time at home. Control what you put in your body. This is the way to get fresh baked goods in your house. And again, Chef, not just bread that you can do with this.
Oh yeah, you're so right, Alice. Look, I've done a pumpkin loaf. Now, I love this because, you know, and this recipe's coming home with you, by the way. Have a look at that beautiful pumpkin. This is pecan and this is pepitas. It's just so beautiful and so simple and easy to make. I mean, when you talk about just throwing it all in, Alice, that's exactly what you do. You just dump all those ingredients in. Cinnamon raisin. Now, have a look at what I'm doing. I have my nylon scraper here, and I always keep my table nice and neat and tidy. I've got one of my bowls. I just go like that, and I encourage you to do the same. It is a scraper and cutter. It is a two-piece set. We nearly sold out of it yesterday. I think there's 150 to go around for those lucky people that are ordering the bread maker this morning. You'll use it for so many incredible things too. Now, here we go. Cinnamon and raisin. I mean, look at the raisins falling out. Look how perfectly evenly they're distributed through the bread. That's what I'm talking about. Fresh, soft, steamy, wonderful. I mean, you could end wars with this bread, Alice. It is that good. I'm telling you.
It is.
We've got our priorities wrong. Whenever they come and sit down around that negotiating table, someone should bake them bread because of fresh bread coming out of the oven. It is just the most unbelievable smell, and even better than the smell is how it tastes.
We definitely need to break some bread together, absolutely. And this is the way you're gonna do it. Bake it and break it. It is all about the memories that you're creating with your family, the experience of something that is so fresh, straight out of your bread maker, but simple and easy. You know, if it's hard, if it's gonna take a long time, if you're not really sure if it's gonna work out because you didn't need it or you needed it too much or too little, you don't have to worry about it. This does everything. It is like having a pastry chef in your house that's going to bake all your bread for you. Do it all. And then the cleanup, Chef, simple, easy.
So right now, Alice, I'm giving you a little peek here at the kneading process. Now, you don't want to have to do this. You don't even want your mixer to have to do this, to be honest, because bread dough, it's very, very specific. I'll lift it up even higher for you. And then, of course, you'll be closing the lid and just letting that do its thing. But I wanted you to see the process there for a minute. What about brioche? Can you imagine making your own fresh brioche? Now, what do you pay for this in a store? Let me just go ahead and grab my towel. Did you see how I grabbed my towel, Alice?
Yes.
Through the loop in my new apron.
That
next to
apron
my
is so
kinetic
smart.
thermometer pocket. There's only 100 of them. So if you want that, you better get it. We sold 3,000 yesterday. There's 100 left. Don't worry, it'll last all day. Here's my brioche, Alice. Have a look how I can slice. I mean,
gorgeous.
look at that unbelievable brioche. Again, it is the softest of all breads. It is the richest of all breads. And when you can bake it yourself, you will just feel like the king or queen of the kitchen. Now, don't forget, you're in control of the color crust. You can go light, medium, or dark. This is just the most beautiful bread. Now, I used to serve this back in those French restaurants. We'd serve it with terrines and pâtés and foie gras and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, spread it with a little bit of butter and some jam. You're going to be pretty happy.
Absolutely. Listen, this is a sale price, $109.95, but we're doing 5 flex payments and free shipping and handling on our entire collection. The free shipping and handling ends at midnight. So this is the day that you want to do your cooking or your shopping for all your cooking items. Because, Chef, I know you're on, I think you're on again tomorrow. Crazy man. I hope you're taking your vitamins because you are working a lot. You are working hard. But here's the thing, you know, this is that time of year that you really want to get in the kitchen. You want to make it special. Can you imagine waking up Christmas morning and having fresh baked bread for everybody, whether it's pumpkin bread or cinnamon raisin bread or whatever it might be? Final 200 now. If you want it in the bread, this is going to go. So you need to order that red if you're looking for the red. Turquoise, also very limited. White and black, also available. We're gonna go back out one more time to get one more look at that bread, and look at that perfect dough ball.
Well, this is actually pizza dough, Alice, so look at this. It makes the most unbelievable pizza dough. We give you the recipe. I know a lot of people are scared about making their own pizzas. Look how easy this dough stretches, Alice. It is very, very simple. You don't have to be doing this. You can make the best pizza dough ever in your bread maker. You can also make things like rice pudding. Have a look at this right here. You can make a sago pudding. We give you all of these recipes. By the way, you can make jams and preserves. Here we've made the compote for the Thanksgiving table. So you can do it with cherries, you can do it with cranberries, you can do it with fresh fruits and berries. You can even make yogurt. So I have it right here. I'm not going to mix those up because this is going to be for my breakfast a little later on, Alice. But this I remember my mum having a yogurt maker, and I'm not going to tell you what she spent on it, but it did one thing. This bread maker does everything you've seen. It is just the most incredible little tool. Thanks, Vanessa.
It is. Listen, 5 flex payments, $21.99. We'll ship it to you absolutely free. Again, if you want the bread, you need to be ordering that right now. And something you might consider is our HSN credit card, because if you sign up for our credit card today, we're gonna take $40 off your next purchase. So if you are ordering this, okay, if you're ordering this bread maker, it'd make it $669, I think. Amazing. So we're giving you $40 on your next purchase, and that ends tomorrow. So if you can, take a minute and absolutely don't miss out on that, okay? Stay in the ordering process for that amazing bread maker.